What is going on? It's another Seattle Soca Live, and I'm gonna be jumping on. It's gonna be a good one today. Jumping on with Kasey of Precision Productions, one of the very, very top of the line production and soca producers in all of the world, you know. So I'm very excited. We're gonna jump into some of his music. I mean, he has a really, really big collection, guys. He's been producing some of the biggest tracks, biggest tunes soca has seen. And man, this is gonna be really, really awesome to catch up with him and see what he's working on during this COVID-19 time and what we could look forward to in the future. So as usual, I jump into it with my nice little intro and random topics, and you're gonna get that full thing on my podcast. So when the podcast drops, make sure and jump on that and get the nice edits, and all the stuff that you might have missed out, So he's gonna be on here anytime now, and I'm going to see him yet. See if we can get some more followers, huh? Where is everyone today? Giving credit to where credit is due. Straight from Spotify, so you're getting your views, you're getting your lessons and everything, and putting your numbers higher and higher when you do your interview on Seattle Soca, you know what I mean? And there he is. Ready when you are, my friend. Yes, sir.
Hey man, what's up? Just
hey,
cool.
Hey. Nice. Well, hey. Right off the bat, thank you for giving me some of your time. Your time is very expensive. So
don't go saying that in public now, where you're trying to frame me.
Yes, brother. So man, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Over 100,000 listens or listeners a month for Precision Productions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing it to the Pacific Northwest. Most of the music you play these days, first thing you hear is Precision. So
right.
Kasey, tell me, from 9 years old or even younger, right? You've been in the lab.
Right.
So at what age did you say, well, hey, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life?
For the rest of my life, that's a tricky question, boy. Because I mean, from age 9, 10 when I started, it was still a joke. It was still a hobby. It was still messing around, doing it for kicks. I would want to say, I guess in here, I only really take the whole precision and the branding of it seriously in 2020 now. I would say, somewhere around 2004, 5, and I really guessing is where I started to
Okay.
take it seriously as a career and decided that I needed to brand. I mean, there are a few things that led up to that that caused that to happen, but it was around that time.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's a safe
Okay.
answer for now.
Because that's a safe answer for now. Okay.
Yeah,
Because, you know, back to 2005 when Michelle Sylvester's Sleeping in Your Bed tune won the groovy Soca Monarch,
right.
right? That's around the same time you're saying that you took it serious.
Actually, well then no, then I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going back in the years for this one, boy. So 2005 was Sleeping in Your Bed. That's when I started and I won the title, right? So I was still Kasey Phillips then, produced by Kasey Phillips. And I want to
Okay.
say, I think, okay, let me track back. LA was 2010. I would say 2008, 2009 is where the shift happened because it was right before Los Angeles.
Okay.
So
Right
sleeping
before.
in your bed, some of those things happened as Casey, and then there was a shift where I was like, okay, time to make this a brand.
Okay. So did you, you saw, okay, well, you know what? I have to get beyond the borders because there's a certain sound that I need. There's a certain amount of, science that I need to go out there and learn to put into the music. Is that why you decided to go to LA?
Uh, a few a few reasons. That is one reason. I think after a while doing the same thing in Trinidad, you kind of reach a ceiling and it's like, okay, what's next? What more can we achieve
Right.
for how much further can we not only better ourselves, but how much further can we take what we're doing and spread it across the world? What
Right.
partnerships, collaborations can I establish abroad or overseas that's going to help not only the brand but also the sound of the music and the genre and the culture as a whole. So it wasn't just well, I need precision to be the biggest thing. Yes, of course, but it was also taking the music
Right.
and flying the flag. Because I mean, staying in Trinidad is one thing. I could stay there and do music forever, but carrying it out and collabing with these producers from outside or artists or these companies or brands or labels is really taking the music and looking for the next opportunity. And maybe we open the door for a flood of more to come.
Right. Okay. Okay. So your dad, he also was a big producer in the business, right?
Yeah.
Um, the folks around his age,
hmm
who who was flying the flag then? Who decided, that to bring, Soca global then before you?
I mean, I guess there are different
I
perspectives.
might be putting in a spot.
No, well, it is different perspectives and interpretations of flying the flag. Because I mean, you can fly the flag from home. I'm not knocking anybody that stays in Trinidad. Um, Back
Right.
then, I think at that point it was, at least from what I understand with my dad, at that point it was still refining and getting into the soca sound of what soca was, because there was calypso and then it naturally progressed. They had different forms. They had raga soca, which kind of still is
Yes.
soca. Then it had chutney soca that was starting, and I think around that time it was still figuring it out. So I don't know,
Okay.
and things were different then. It wasn't the digital era. It was back then. It was different. But what I do remember
Right.
is, and I know my dad would have still fly to like New York, Brooklyn, different states to press records because back then was records. Trinidad wasn't pressing
Right.
records,
Yeah.
so they had to go to either London or Brooklyn and press records. So I guess it's different. It's different times, and there will be different interpretations of flying the flag, but that's what they were doing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Man, because just speaking to you, being that you have been in it from before you before you knew yourself consciously,
Mm,
we could take this conversation in all kinds of different angles.
right.
and maybe we might have to come back again and target some places to jump into because
Right,
just like you, I've decided that Seattle Soca, it's not just for Seattle. It's this is where I'm at. But if you think about Starbucks, right? It's in Seattle, but it's packaging beans from all over the world and grinding it up and making
right,
coffee and distributing it, right?
right.
So there's the same thing I want to do with the soca music is,
Right.
I'm a Trini, I left Trinidad when I was 17 and
Okay.
I go back, pretty often,
Okay.
I'm also a DJ as well, and promoter.
Right.
So, I really kind of, and I came up on the 33s and 45s and,
Right. 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 Right.
that's how I learned, right? So
I had
I
just
appreciate
missed
it,
that.
but
I think I had just missed that era. But I still get the end of tape machines and 16, 24, 8 tracks, but I had just missed that era of when records were a thing.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
And for yourself, I like that you brought up what soca is, right? Because you were saying that, when I read your bibliography and different interviews and stuff like that, I saw that you were trying to bring soca back to what it is, and
Mm.
groovy is the closest to what soca really is in a sense, right? Because um, we have Afro soca, bashment soca, beyond soca now, chutney soca,
Right.
right? All these different things, but it seems like the groovy soca, and you could disagree with me. Seems like the
Right.
groovy soca would be what precision is, bringing back to the center, bringing back to this is soca. So really and truly, breaking it down into all these other little genres is not even necessary. Like we should just call it soca.
Um, you
What you
trying to
think?
get me in trouble, yes? Um, I think all the different styles have their place. Power soca, even
Okay.
St. Lucia Dennery, Chutney soca, Parang soca, all these things have their place and their purpose. For precision, when we started, I guess, experimenting and refining the sound, we started with groovy because I think it naturally
Okay.
happened where pop and R&B songs were around that same BPM, so it worked out because I went on this mission trying to write better songs, write better soca songs, forgetting the beat and the drums, the songs, the content. You want people to be able to sing these songs for the test of time. So that
Right.
was the mission, and we started dabbling with R&B writers and pop writers, and that was the closest BPM to have that amount of melody and the different cadences. Not knocking or taking anything away from power soca because power soca is power soca. We have great, amazing power
Yes.
soca across the board, and Precision does that as well. But at that time, that's where we started. And then Antilles is where you playing in the back there is where we started that, getting these
Yes.
songs that were written better. So yeah, naturally for me, I gravitate towards groovy. That's just my, well, that was my original preference. Now I'm starting to dabble and find the creative ways to now um, add my flavor into the power soca.
Got
Because
it. Got it.
it is a little trickier. I have a little more, I have less room for doing extra stuff. So you kind of have to stay to what power soca is, the topics, what the goal is, what the target is. So trying to break from that a little harder, but it's something that I actively experimenting with.
What about the job? Because I mean, job. Like when Top Three and stuff came out, that stuff
Yeah.
Greener,
Yeah,
took
well,
over.
it goes back to what I was saying. I think every one of these styles have their place because St. Vincent have a sound. If you even go up to St. Martin, Dominica, they have a sound as well, a very specific sound that they stay to.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
their thing. And yeah, well, Grenada, I used to almost live in Grenada at a point. And Grenada has a sound as well. But yeah, they all have their place, and I love some of those songs and that style.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
did you have a hand? So I know you had a hand in most of these big songs like The Fog,
Right.
from Machel. Um, a lot of these songs that won road marches and Soca Monarchs and these things. Did you also have a hand in the recent one where they use a lot of bouillon influence in the music as well?
No, you're talking
The conch
about
shell.
conch shell. No, no. I
Okay,
no,
okay,
I don't have anything in that one. Conch shell. Nah.
okay. So that's the kind of you're moving towards. So now that's where the power comes in, and that's where you're moving some of your flavor into that power, like you were saying,
Yeah.
as well, to get more rounded. Okay, because we already know that you can mash up the scene with the groovy. We hear Bacchanalis,
Yeah,
we've heard,
is really just
yeah.
attempt to it's really just attempt to not do the same old power soca and find a way to make it special, breathe new life into it. Just that's just my mission and my experiment for myself. I don't know if you saw Sun Goes
Okay.
Down.
Let me see. I think so. I might have.
Yeah, Sun Goes Down was a Frankenstein experiment. I think it was 7 or 8 artists on one power soca, and everybody did a little piece, and that was just me trying something different. I mean, I've seen all
Oh, with
these
all
EDM.
the
Yeah,
yes,
I've
yes, yes, yes,
I've
yes.
seen all these EDM guys like Major Lazer and Hardwell put 6, 7 artists on one song and do a little piece. I was like, so why not? Let's try that. Let's see how it works. And yeah, that
Yeah.
was our attempt at that.
Because essentially, people, songs like Major Leagues and these guys, why not? Why not attempt to be a vertical? Because you've already got the foundation and the reach. So
Hmm.
why not attempt to be the vertical and captivate the market and even more market share and
Yeah,
spread
yeah,
the word and
yeah,
everything like that. Okay, yeah. This thing I even put on my base yet and this thing fall off. Anyway, yeah. So um, what I was gonna say, so also at the same time, right? I feel as though soca is still in an incubator stage, right, where the quality is still being refined. I think
mm,
you have I think you have figured out the LA sound, the Apple Music, the Spotify, the top line mastering, where you say like, yes, this sounds good. It doesn't sound like somebody in a little studio with headphones. It sounds like someone in a big studio with shiny stuff, kind of thing, right?
right, right.
um, but are you afraid that the shinier it becomes, just like gold, the more people would be inclined to steal from it and just run with it? Or do you believe that's good for you and you want somebody to get it more involved? You want people to jump into it and steal it more?
That is a controversial topic, but I'll try and touch on it. How's my connection coming up there? Seeing these guys getting clicks on my connection.
Uh,
Because I'm on
it's
Wi-Fi. I
music.
mean, Instagram is do some weird stuff sometimes, so I don't know.
I feel like Instagram messing up a little bit. It's a
Always,
little bit
always.
we you wanna jump back in just to make sure it's clear.
Now I mean, they say choppy.
Explicit, my
All
voice
right,
says
let me
it
let me
chop,
all
it
right,
chop.
let me come out and come back in and see. Let me try something.
Okay,
Um,
I'll play something right here. Yes, people. So we're here with Kasey, and he's gonna jump back in. Let me see here.
Yeah, see,
Waiting for him to come back in.
I real arrogant, I real arrogant. With what I want,
So yes, people.
I want, I real
This is
arrogant,
Seattle Soca.
real arrogant.
We're talking about the soca, bringing it global. Much
All right.
better. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I had to Instagram is doing me what they want. Just because on Wi-Fi, then Wi-Fi not looking now on LTE. So let's see. Let's see.
You didn't make the calls out. I hear you gotta make calls these days.
I know Instagram always setting me up. Right. So your question was when you say shiny, define what you mean by the shiny thing with soca?
Okay. Define what I mean by the shiny thing with soca.
Yeah.
I could do so with a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun, everybody now. Dun dun dun, everybody now. What song is that?
Oh,
Hey, hey, hey.
romantic. Yeah.
Right. That's kind of a, you know, oh man, it's kind of sounds like some soca that they're getting into the soca groove there, you know, and it takes over like with ease, you know.
Right.
But no credit will ever be given where credit is due. You know what I mean? Because why? You know why? You know.
I probably will disagree on that romantic because that's more soul funk. That's their style. I wouldn't. If you tell me Drake One Dance or Justin Bieber, sorry, I'll say okay, cool.
Okay. Sorry.
Right.
Let's say sorry.
Yeah.
Because that one dance to me sounds more like Afrobeat.
Well, I mean, soca and Afrobeat is
The same
I
thing.
can't say cousins. I have to say step brother and sister at this point.
Right. Because
Right.
basically, the man himself, you know, Rashoti, you
Right.
know, that's the same, you know, assembly used, right? You know, taking the African and mixing it with the Indian music,
Right.
instruments and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I could see that. I could see, you know, but you know, given credit where credit is due, for us, how do you feel about the Justin Bieber one? You sorry?
Well, oh boy, these tricky questions. For me, I think there's good and there's bad. The good is they're using the sound and familiarizing the worldwide listener to the sound, which makes it more palatable and more acceptable. So when it's time for it to be great, they're familiar with it. It's not this completely different sound that nobody knows about. Like when dubstep came out, it was like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
So that's the good. The bad is it not getting the title and the recognition that it should be getting. Because sometimes it might fall under the classification as just pop or EDM.
Yes.
Which I can't really knock anybody because there have been EDM songs and pop songs from way back when that had that same bounce. So it's very hard to trademark or own this bounce and say, well, that's soca and you're teeth in soca. I think when it comes to the soca part, it comes is more than just the bounce, it's also the cadences and how the person might sing, the melodies, the syncopations that we might use. Sometimes the Caribbean twang as well. So it's not just a beat thing. So it really tricky. Now I know some people this is called bacchanal and it is PRC and who is all get vexed and say the teeth in this and the teeth in that. It is a hard one to justify. I mean, look, Afrobeat kind of now getting its recognition, but people have been using Afrobeat elements from long time.
Long time, yes.
Now the artists finally starting to get signed and on major labels and getting their blow up, which is great. The same thing happened with dancehall. People were using reggae stuff subtly in beats forever. But then the Sean Pauls and the Elephant Mans and all these people started to get signed and solidify dancehall.
Right.
So I it's good and bad. It's good and bad.
Do you think that the Afrobeat really shook up soca artists in a sense, where they were like, man, I need to really pay attention to what's going on, and I need to take it more seriously and not just think locally, but also think globally?
Well, yeah, I remember his strength in numbers, the size of Africa continent versus Caribbean, far less Trinidad. you can't really compare. So it will take, if it take 100 or 100,000 to make one Burna Boy, it's gonna be harder for us. We don't
Yes,
have the numbers to compare. So it hard to, I mean, yes, we could watch it and pattern after the reggaeton, pattern after Afrobeat, pattern after dancehall, and be like, okay, this is how this genre made its way in. Maybe we
right.
could take a page out of their book and figure it out, but I don't think it's the same journey. It might take a different course, to be honest.
You know, it's so funny, that we have to look at reggaeton and dembow and these things, and that music, takes a few notes out of what we consider to be bigger, right? But just because you said, right, the strength in numbers
Yeah. I
propel.
mean, but look, Dembow is dancehall. When you think about it, it's old school
Exactly,
dancehall.
exactly, yeah.
So is
One song.
it is a lot of blurred lines, funny to say,
Yeah.
across all these genres. But
Right.
numbers again, you can't say nothing about the Latin community. They
Yes,
support in their own.
disappointed,
So
right.
it's just it's a number. I think it's a numbers game. I mean, that's one factor. But yeah, yeah.
People saying they have really to taught to push
But you do have the half-breeds in different parts of the world, and they need to be
their,
taught to push their
push
roots.
their roots.
I'm not too.
Yeah,
That is in reference to what? I
yeah, not
mean,
following that one.
I mean, yes, the roots are important, but the new age Gen Z, or the new age young person might think Kanye West Through the Wire is the original song. They may not ever know the sample, and that's just. I
Right.
mean, you can't force that down anybody throat. Um, so it's really upon them to do their research, or also the media to showcase these original songs. There's only so much you could really do with that. Things evolve, things change, and you could look at food as well. What might be a Mexican dish now is probably not the same Mexican dish 50 years ago. Things evolve and they change, and it becomes the norm.
Especially
So
especially in LA, right? What,
exactly.
are you in LA right now, or are you in Trinidad?
Yeah. I'm in Hollywood right now.
In Hollywood right now. Wow.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's true. It's gonna evolve, and we're gonna have to keep it up with it. I was gonna ask you where you see soca, or where you want to see soca, but it's obvious, right? You want to see soca on the top charts,
Right.
Um, but what else do you want for soca? Do you want more artists from America and Britain and these different places hitting you up and saying, "Yo, I want to make a soca song"?
Hmm. You know what's funny? And this might shock some people. That used to be the goal a
Yeah,
while back. Um, like it used to be, wait, I want to go there and get signed and do this and this and that. But then I think soca has started to climb and grow exponentially over the years, where even from Antilles that you were playing till now, I've seen the growth from streams all the way up to touring with artists to how far the music is reaching. So somewhere along that journey, I kind of had to pause and be like, you know what, this actually might be a sustainable career. Because before, I used to be like, I can't do this forever. I need to go and do some pop and some rap and make some real money, which don't get me wrong, I want to do.
still want to jump in. Yeah,
But I could do that as well as take our culture and and fly the flag. Wow.
yes,
But to also answer your question, I think it's in a great spot. One, what could be better? Yes, if we could get major label support and distribution support for some of these songs and get in the market, then great. That
right,
will help things tremendously. But for that to happen, we also kind of need to have our ducks in a row. Our legalities and publishing stuff and all these different things have to be in order for that to happen.
boy,
You're not
there's
gonna just sign somebody
there's some
who
serious
using a
pressure.
man
Yeah,
beat, yeah,
that,
who just using a man beat from
right.
down the road, but
Or
it
they
ain't really have
purchase
no
it
clear
online.
ownership, and you see all of that.
Yeah,
That can't work. So
right.
as a kind of we have to be ready for that.
because I could almost ask you a question and I could put you in a bit of hot water, but I won't.
That's all
And,
right. That's all
and
right. I don't mind your thought or
okay,
question.
okay. So in terms of like being able to distribute on Spotify and Apple and
Hmm.
all these things, right? And BMI and Writers Association and everything
Right.
versus Quote, right?
Who?
Trinidad is a Quote?
Oh, cut, cut. Yeah,
Cut, yeah.
yeah.
Um, is there a versus there? Does one trump the other, or do they work hand in hand?
Um, it's the safest answer is a territory thing. COT
Okay,
is Copyright Organization of Trinidad and Tobago. They govern Trinidad.
right.
They will listen and analyze and track all the stuff that playing in Trinidad
Tobago, shout out.
and Tobago.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I can get in trouble for that. Yes, them Tobagonians is getting dread for that. But it's also Koch's job to now take these songs that are registered here and register it across the world.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I don't think one trumps the other. I mean, again, we're going back to the same thing again. Size, BMI, ASCAP, Spotify, iTunes is astronomically huge compared to Cut. They work hand in hand though. Cut will report titles to BMI and vice versa. So I don't think one trumps the other. They work hand in hand. You kind of have to understand each one's purpose and know
Okay.
how to use or employ them to work to their benefit.
Nice, nice, nice. So one of the things for precision then, as I've seen in your essentials, is
Hmm.
educating the youths in Trinidad.
Of course, because I get questions like this all the time. I think, was it yesterday? I was on the phone explaining stuff about this from colleagues in the business. Yeah, is a topic that if you're not in it all the time, it's you have to be in it all the time and practicing it to kind of grasp all these terms, and it could get very tricky and very complicated. So yeah, that was kind of the goal of Audio Essentials Workshop, to start to educate and share the knowledge, and kind of share the blueprint of how Precision did it, the legal side, how to go about the legal side the right way, and learning all the terms, how to position a brand,
Right.
just learning the basics, the theory. Now it's not like going back to super basics, but I try to show as much as I can from ground zero all the way to contracts, business, marketing, getting your
Right.
song out, etc., etc.
Did you go to university to learn all of this, or is it
No, I started
OJT?
from pretty much I started from young and trained under my dad. And yeah, there was a point where I was like, okay, secondary school is finishing. What should I do? Should I go to college and learn something completely unrelated to music that I may never use for the rest of my life? No, I'm not knocking college. I'm not
Right.
telling nobody drop out of school. But at that point, it was a decision to make. Now I was like, I don't know if that's making sense for me, and I didn't do it. I stuck with what I was doing, learned it like while in it, had mentors, did little courses here and there to make sure that you know what you're doing, and rough it out and tough it out.
Right.
And it kind of worked out.
Nice.
Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part.
I think okay. So let's get a little technical, right? So,
Hmm.
I also like so I'm nowhere near being a producer or anything like that. I'm a more of a DJ promoter, like I
Right.
said. But I do get in Logic and try to build. I think I've been trying to build a soca rhythm for about 2 years now. It's definitely
Mhm.
a science because I want to do it like I want to build. I want to like mess with my own little instrument and but I just can't get it. So how does someone like me look towards precision to figure out how much um, hertz I need to put on a on a drum or you know what I mean or on a vocal thing
Well,
should
you see, I can shameless plug. I can shameless plug for this answer. Um, that's, you see, this again was the purpose of the Essential Workshop. Finding the new talent, educating the new talent, and teaching the basics. That's one. Secondly, well, yeah, to add to number one, Audio Essentials is a workshop that we also have live now, online live now. So we have the whole program live on our website. So you could go on and learn and pick the topic you want to pick. I know I plug in, but that's all right.
No, that's
Pick the topic, production. We have songwriting with Tyrone Thomas from our city, mixing, mastering, and even music business. That's why we started doing this, because there was a lot of questions coming in all the time. And I think it really started from I was doing Precision Tip Wednesdays on Instagram, just as a thing I started. And the responses I started to get, and people started asking a lot more questions. It started to get technical, it started to get basic, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. And that kind of evolved into the workshop. That is one, to answer that part. Now, the second answer is, with the soca beats, there are producers that struggle to build soca because it's a specific groove, it's a specific sound, it's a specific style. That's something that I can't really teach you that just like that unless you grow up or you practice in that. But we have tools for that too. Shameless plug again. That's why I did the pack with Indigi Sounds, which was a soca starter pack. We named it that because it's basically breaking down a soca beat into the elements and the layers to make it easy for you to learn. And we have something coming soon again. I can't really talk about it, that would kind of now assist that and even expand on that further. But it's essentially that, breaking down a soca beat to make it easier for the producer who's not familiar with soca to make a soca song.
Okay. I like that. And I think I might have, I think way back when that first came out, I was interested in it, but then, being that, that's not my everyday thing. It fell off, so
if you're not fully in production like that, it could get a little technical and you'll just be like, what's going on here?
But it's cool. It's really good. I made a roots drum the other day. I don't even know if that is, but I was looking at dampering on a drum, and I don't want to get boring on the people with that part. So
you mean a actual physical drum?
No. A drum in Logic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A beat.
No, just the actual drum. Like making the skin sound, like dampening the sound to the drum, and
Okay.
Technical. Yeah. So somebody ever wanted to fight with you in your studio because of the way you were telling them, look, I need it to sound like this?
Where that question come from?
I just spice it up a little bit.
No, I mean, when it comes to artists and creatives, they can get very sensitive and emotional with their craft and their art. So I think because I got into it from small, I've learned to, I've learned to erase the visual emotion of a song, and learn how to stay straight professional, and learn how to maneuver, how to tell a man, hey, I don't like this part, try this now. Because I have some producers who will come straight out and say, yo, that's nonsense, or that's trash. You can't do that, because then you will get fight. You'll get fight with. So you kind of have to know how to maneuver. They'll be like, yeah, that chorus cool, but let me mute that for now and let's try a next chorus. Let me try an option. If we like it, it works. If we don't like it, we throw it away. You have to kind of find the political ways to get around dealing with creators.
Nice, because
for lack of a better term.
I've heard a lot of people refer to, I'd like to call him a name up, so I'll refer to him as Boy, like people let's say, right? So I've seen him backstage at events in LA, and he's a man takes it very serious, Of course, he's like, on the top of the spear as far as, taking it global alongside, some of the other big names, right? Yeah, so I would imagine, right, working with folks like that are very passionate for
Yeah,
hours
yeah, yeah.
on end, right? That would get very intense.
Well, I mean, but I also working with him since I was 12 years old, so it's just
Right.
understanding the creatures and knowing how
How
to
to do it.
maneuver and how to deal with them. Because somebody who may not have worked with whichever artist, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
I've seen artists crying in the studio already because it just
Wow.
wasn't sounding how they want. And I was
Yeah.
like, but I told you you
Yeah.
needed to do this, this, this. Now you're ready to listen. So
Right.
it just, yeah,
Because
that's an art in itself.
hours burning, money burning as well, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And soca and what's that? Soca Mona coming, Carnival coming. So it's serious pressure.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody running on no sleep. So everybody antsy, everybody on edge.
Yeah. I know a bit about that. So what is that time frame? And okay, so the time frame leading up to Carnival is right after Ash Wednesday, or is there a
Mm.
break for producers?
Well, because how intense the latter part of our season for the producers, because Carnival season is not the season for producers. We try to be done by November, December with the music at least. And that is gets so intense from September to December. By the time January, February, March reach, you just want to disconnect. So you might take a month or two to kind of recoup. And then we back at it from May, June. New ideas, new beats, new songs,
Yeah.
finding the next. So it's kind of like it'll be back in the day it used to be a longer rest. I must say we used to kind of be down for a while and then it would happen. But now to me I feel like we go in all the time because remember too after Trinidad is St. Lucia, Grenada, Barbados, Antigua, St. Martin, Dominica, all these carnivals have music. So it's kind
Yes.
of, these days it's kind of non-stop. You get a small rest after Trinidad because you have to, but it's kind of non-stop now.
So what's so you actually have to have, so do you have actually an arrangement? You say, okay, let me jump into my Trinidad arrangement now for making
Mm.
music. Let me jump into my, you know what I mean? Because
Well,
how,
yeah, you have to be mindful and you have to do your research on the markets because how I might mix a song for Trinidad radio, it might be bass heavy, just for example's sake.
okay,
You
okay,
need the bass, you need the kick. The vocals might need to be loud. But then when I working on a St. Martin song, they don't really care about the bass like that. It need to be percussion heavy. You need the iron. You need this. So you kind of need to have these reference songs in your catalog to be like, all right, this going for which target market? Antigua. Okay, Antigua like the cowbell loud. Or Grenada,
right.
make sure the conch shell loud. So it's just every market have their sound per
Wow.
se. I mean, yes, I will still bring my precision influence, but you can't miss the target because then it will be yeah.
It will fall
Yeah, it
very,
wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I mean, we
wow.
have done instances where the artist purposely wanted to sound like groovy soca from Trinidad. So
Okay,
like with Tedison, when we started working with Tedison, he did sweet soca music. We went straight groovy soca, and that worked for him. He won groovy soca monarch in St. Lucia. But
yeah,
some islands will actually kick up a fuss if you're sounding like I actually
too
remember
much like them.
recording a certain artist from an island and he was saying I need to not make this song Trini because I was a Trini soca writer. So he was like, this song is a little too Trini. I need to figure out how to change his lyrics because he would have get that backlash from the public, from his fans. Yo, you're
Wow.
starting the song like you're singing a Trinidad soca. So there's these slangs and little things that we might say they wouldn't say. So it could get touchy for some
But it's,
for
so it's,
some
it's like
territories.
even more touchy because, I feel like we're starting to accept each other's music more and more and more and more, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's have Trinis jumping on Grenada rhythms, Trinis jumping on Antigua rhythms, vice versa. St. Lucia rhythms, Moto in Trinidad, like normal,
Right.
and vice versa. So now, I mean, yeah, it getting better now, but at the same time, example, Moto have to sing like Moto, he can't try and go and sing no Trinidad style sounding song and not song like himself because then his fans and the public will start to be like, well, you ain't singing authentic anymore.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I remember those examples. Actually, that's the first time I actually ever discussed that. To be honest, so that's interesting.
That's good, man. We're getting some good stuff here. You know, you real. I mean, because you don't really, you just consume it as far as media consumer, right? But you don't really like, think about the amount of time and. I mean, I know the time because me here trying to make a little beat, and this. I mean, you guys go from intro to some kind of bridge that like I don't even know how I would start to make this bridge into a verse, and then I mean the amount of synths and different things that happens in there, it's amazing. I mean nobody else really puts that amount of time and effort into bringing so much clarity in the different aspects or the different instruments that you hear, you know what I mean? And I mean when the world gets to hear this, it's just gonna blow their mind. And for me, that's why I want to, continue to spread it because I've lived in different places. I've lived in Hawaii, Alaska, all these very far places, and I've been able to play soca out, experiment, and just drop soca. And the same thing I get every time is people just like, they don't know what it is, but they just know that it makes them feel happy and they want to dance to it.
Right. Well, which is the goal of soca. It's supposed to be happy, infectious music. Yeah.
So it almost makes me angry when I'm like, why the hell this is like, it's like, why the hell this is not getting out? Why,
it's all scale. It's all scale.
Yeah.
The industry is just a smaller industry. It will take time, but I think it will get there. But for me, soca is doing great. I mean, don't mind COVID going on now, but soca is doing great. The distances and the borders I've seen artists traveling to is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, even myself, I was in Dubai for a soca weekend, party weekend, and I was like, I would never think me getting into this game as a producer will ever reach the Dubai to line.
Right. Yeah. Crazy things. I've been to Dubai as well. And they have a crazy nightlife. And the media really messes with you, right? You feel like you can't really go to these places and have fun and stuff. But I mean, you have people playing pan in Dubai. No.
Right. I mean, there's a carnival in Ibiza now. There's a Caribbean carnival in Ibiza now. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see how far it is. Even like Burling and Notting Hill, the kind of numbers they get on the streets.
Right.
It's like, what is going on? What is actually going on over here? So it's awesome to see.
Someone said, Daisy, hearing your voice and wake up. Yes.
That's my sister, and she's talking about my cat back home in Trinidad.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, so let me see. It's gonna probably we have about 50 minutes. I know I probably took you over time, which is great. That means
that's all right. If my AirPods dead on here, I'll just let me know because they keep making noise here.
I assume most of the. So what is your what would you say is your your favorite tune as a producer? Do you have one that you say this is my favorite tune that I've created? That I've created with my favorite artists.
My recent favorite, I would say, is the Pretty You're Bad. Recent.
Okay.
Back in the day, favorite is a toss-up between Antilles Rhythm and Fog.
I really like Antilles Rhythm. I think that's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you as well. Well, two questions, right? The first one was Antilles Rhythm and Osaka Rhythm. Which one you like better between those two?
It's two different rhythms. It's two different rhythms. That is like trying to compare two completely different things. For me, I can't say one better, and it's different times. You could hear the evolution on the sound, even from just the mixing and the frequencies. Antilles will always have a special place. You can't touch it, you can't beat it. No matter what I could try and build 900 Antilles, you
Yeah.
can't beat it. But Osaka have a special place too. So I don't know. I don't know.
Because and then well, the other question was, do you know specifically when did rhythms begin, and who was sort of when did rhythms begin in the soca?
Rhythm's been around for a long time, you know. If you think back, even past Douglas rhythm, going all the way back to pigtail rhythm, going all the way back to voodoo rhythm. Rhythm's been around from a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that we I don't want to say copy or took, but we jumped on that train from dancehall because
From dancehall,
I
yes.
think also some soca artists started to get on dancehall rhythm. So like Big Fat Fish was a dancehall rhythm. So it started to kind of cross the borders and we started doing it home. So that's around from long time.
So when did Big Fat Fish come out? In like 95?
I have no idea.
That's a big rhythm. That's a big rhythm.
Yeah, but that was a dance with a soca artist on it. So that was so that kind of started. Right. I don't want to say that started the trend, but things like that would have made all these things come to Trinidad and be like, okay, we could do some rhythms here now. Also, too, I think back in the day there were, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were not only calypsonians, but there was soca songs as well that would have had an A and a B side. Somebody might have sing one. I used to do it plenty. I would have sing 2 songs on one beat. Machel had it as well. So that's kind of like the start of where rhythms was happening.
Yeah, because if you look at Tonight the Black Man Feeling to Party, that Black Stallion, you know, there's a whole bunch of songs on that rhythm from back then.
Really? I don't know. I would have to
check it out. Yeah,
double check. My dad will know that.
Because I think with a lot of those old calypso songs, when I'm DJing and mixing it, it's more you mix more off of the percussion more so than off of the beats.
Or remember back in the day, those calypso songs followed a very strict style and very strict trend. So they may sound very similar, but it may not be the same song.
Right. Okay. That's true. Yeah.
So they I think it was like one producer at a time who would have run that era, and then the next one who run this era. So yeah, they were very, very close.
The extempo beat is a typical rhythm. That's Trinidad 868.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because extempo come from way back. I wouldn't call it a rhythm because it was more a cultural piece of music like that they would use the extempo. I don't know. I mean, I get your point, but it's tricky. That one.
Yes. But I think I've asked you all the hard questions, and we got some good insight into precision, and how you're gonna help me to become a producer as well, and
go on.
and everybody else.
Go and spend your money on some of the essentials there.
Go and spend all your money on some essentials, audio essentials. It's good stuff. So looking forward to hearing more precision music, and we both on the Pacific Northwest side, so hopefully we could, after all this COVID stuff ends, hopefully I could come down there and build a Seattle soca rhythm. I think that's something that I'm really interested in doing. And,
that is big money, but all right, we can explore that. We can explore that option.
I want masters and everything. Yeah,
that is even bigger money, but we can explore that option.
And we'll do it for the culture, man. And let me find a song here to drop, so it's in the podcast here. You said you love your band, and I'm giving you some streams as well. That's like I'm giving you money up and down the line. Let's see here.
I will take that.
Jumping on the young power line. You put up a vibe. Jumping on the young power line. You, I didn't know so. Girl, look so dumb when you know that. Madam, madam, dum, dum. Girl, you
Yes. I know that you are you're covered by BMI, so I don't want to get flagged on Instagram for playing the whole song. So.
Right, that happened to me on my own live stream the other day. Yes, that real serious. That real serious. As soon as I play Bacchanal, I got noticed one time.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the funniest thing ever.
Man, well, again, thanks so much. You know, stick around. I'm supposed to have Abi.
Yeah.
Israel.
That's my partner.
You know? Yeah, man. He's supposed to jump on. That's my brethren from long time. Hopefully I could get Kit as well.
Yeah.
So anybody knows Kit, tell him I'm looking for him to get him on the line.
No,
but that would be
my partner. I could make that happen for you.
Yes. Definitely, I would like to get more of the artists. So, you know, we could talk offline if there's anybody that you want to, you know, help get their song out, you know.
Right.
And I could talk to them, people get to know them, and yeah, man, keep the soca going further and further global, you know. All
right. Yeah, no problem. Well, yeah, just hit me up and I could see who I could connect you with.
Sweet. Awesome. Is there another song you want to? We have about, let me see, probably 3 minutes before we shut up. Let me see. What are some you want people to know that you just dropped?
We just dropped. If this wouldn't even show up, it'll be too hard for you to find that. We just dropped. Pressure just dropped an EP, and we have a song on Pressure's EP. If you search for Pressure Bus Pipe.
I've been up my neck here. Let me see.
Yeah, I want to say it might be a stretch to find it.
No worries, I'll find it and I'll play it out.
Yeah, name of the song is "Give Me That." Shout out to Pressure.
Okay. Give Me That from Pressure. Let me see if I can find it quick.
Yeah, you had to search it. It wouldn't show up on the thing. Man, say unreleased tune. Nah, you can't get that.
Do you have it on your side? Could you play it for us?
Yeah.
We have 1 minute, so we can play that as the last thing.
Let me see if I can find this.
Unreleased tune.
Is this his name?
Life is a wonderful pleasure when love is close. Love make you weak and make you feel brand new. You say you live on good love avenue and don't make the rest more than me with you. I know so you're free to go, it never sure. What happens in that you're meant to, nobody know. You exotic and you're nice, champagne up on the ice. Baby, let's give the gun for. Touch me up, show me love. Baby, get closer, love with the sun for. Get it going, just can't stop. Think I got the code, all your doors unlocked. Feelings mutual, do it as usual. You got the fire, don't it a fire. Tell you I'm murder, sexual servant, pushing you further. Sing it all.
Yes. That's very good.
So yeah, that's a kind of soca dance.
Well, we have 30 seconds, so let me come. I'll come right back in, and we say later or something. And then I'll jump on to the next one, right? So let me or do you want to? We can just wrap it up now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
For sure, man.
It was great, and let's do it again. All right.
All right.
Thanks. All right. Bless.
Yeah.